All right, welcome everybody to another video here today brought to you by your one and truly Patrick France. And also, I am joined today by our crypto connoisseur, Jason. So, Jason, if you want to tell everybody hi real quick.
Hey, what's up, VV Nation? I'm Jason, the crypto connoisseur, and I am super happy to be here.
Glad you're with us today. For anybody who's not familiar with Jason, he is extremely into the crypto markets. He understands the NFTs, the exchanges, how all of that works, which personally, I don't really understand a whole bunch about it. I have a basic understanding, but Jason really is our man in regards to crypto. I'm usually the guy talking about GameStop. And now, with the big news coming out last night, where GameStop is going to be getting into the NFT and coming up with potentially the GameStop crypto coin. I wanted to get together with him, get his insight into this, so that way you guys out there can have a better understanding of what this actually means for the company and see how big of an opportunity this could be for all the GME traders out there, for all the GME holders out there. And so, with that, Jason, I wanted to ask you just right out of the gate, what is an NFT, and give us some insight into this, and what are the implications here being said by GameStop creating this NFT?
So, thanks, Patrick. So first off, when you sent me the news last night of that, it was super huge. NFTs were really big, really hot for like a week or two, and then they kind of fell off, mostly because of the volatility and a couple of the crashes. And crypto moves very, very fast. And what an NFT is, for those of you out there who may not be familiar with it, is a non-fungible token. This means that once that NFT is printed, it can never be reprinted. That's basically like if you are a collector of something, and let's say they do like a limited run, you get this is in the blockchain, you get basically a certificate that says you own this digital copy of whatever it is. NFTs are a way for digital artists, whether it is like songs, artwork, whatever have you, to make a collectible item. Now, the blockchain, for those of you who don't know what blockchain is, that's what pretty much every crypto runs on. Actually, every crypto runs on a blockchain. And think of it as a segment of blocks. And once the next block comes around with the information in it, it locks everything into that chain. Meaning that if I print an NFT and you buy it, you have that NFT forever. You can do whatever you want with it. And inside of the blockchain, it has that certificate of authenticity. Now, when you sent me that article that GameStop was getting into the NFT business, this kind of sparked a couple of things in my head. And, I did a little bit of reading around over on Reddit and stuff like that. And a lot of the things that I was thinking that they would be able to capitalize off of this with were echoed in the community sentiment. This means, digital tokenization of games themselves, meaning that you can then turn that game back in, you can sell that game. One of the problems a lot of people have with digital downloads, like if you buy games off of, let's say, Steam or something along those lines, is I can't sell that game to a friend. I can't give that game to a friend. I can't, go back to GameStop and turn my digital copy of whatever game in for, some sort of money. Now, this benefits GameStop in a bit that they can make every game basically an NFT on the blockchain, meaning that you can trade, sell, buy those games, and it would have, security inside of it that says, this game is, legit. So that's a really interesting topic and thing that they can do alongside of that. The other thing too is that getting into the blockchain, the NFTs, means that they could give out, items on this blockchain that can be transferable to other games and have that signifier that says, yeah, I bought this. I can use this in multiple games. And I know there's a couple of companies currently that are working on doing things like that and working with multiple games to, like, let's say you're playing a game like, Minecraft or something, and you get a donkey. You would be able to move that donkey from game to game to game based on the blockchain and making that a non-fungible token donkey. I know this, is kind of out there, but there's a lot of things that they can do with this. And GameStop has such a already established large presence in the gaming sphere, and I can't imagine that if they didn't take this to, like, a Nintendo, a Sony, something like that, that they would go, oh, you're just GameStop. They have a pretty big presence in that, and I think that capitalizing on this while the name is hot again is a very, very good play on their part. And coming up with the GameStop Crypto token itself, that's basically going to be store credit, right? You'll be able to.
Wait, hold on. Before you jump into the whole GameStop Crypto, let me just make sure I'm following you with what you just said, because that was a lot to take in. Let me try to summarize it in a simple way to make sure everybody's following along. So basically,
Okay.
Online, there's a community out there, especially, World of Warcraft, Minecraft, where people sell their accounts. And, this is a way that they have found out to legitimize the sales. So that way you're not having to worry about fishy sales and getting taken advantage of for selling your account. So this is basically a way that can be verified and proven to transfer or sell an item or a game or whatever it may be, a digital version of that, to somebody with zero risk, because that's going to be legitimized through the blockchain. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, correct. And the other thing too, depending on how you print the NFT, the originator of the NFT can get residual income off of that NFT for every time that's ever sold. So there's certain NFTs, and there's contractual obligations that you can put in there in smart contracts. It's a bigger topic that I would have to have like a whole video to go over. But basically, you could put stipulations in there that if I were to sell this to you, and you were to sell it to somebody else, let's say, you sold my NFT donkey to Glenn, then I would get a percentage of that transaction as well. So this means that the game creators can monetize these items for transfer down the road as well. So there's a lot of possibilities of things that they can do with this. And you're right, it does also allow for the validity of, I'm transferring this account to you. This is an account. We're doing it on the blockchain. There's no takesy-backsies, no scams, anything along those lines. So that is a big thing as well.
And so you're talking about, getting an interest back if somebody sells what you've already sold to somebody. If the person that you sold your game to, let's say, just to keep it simple, they sell it to somebody else down the road, and the original seller could get an interest back or get some type of return off of that?
Yeah, correct. Depending on how the NFT is minted and what the overall stipulations in that NFT contract have in it.
That is extremely beneficial, I see, for these companies, especially Microsoft, PlayStation, Nintendo, the companies that are making these games, because that was always one of the things that people have had issues with is, you buy a game, a digital copy of the game, and once you buy it, you're stuck with it. It's there. Once you get bored of it, it just stays there taking up space on your gaming console or your PC. So You're telling me this is actually a way that the big boys can get their cut too off of reselling of digital games?
Yeah, correct. And so the other thing too is this would tie into potentially the GameStop crypto token in that I buy a digital copy of a game, right? Um, it's it has the security on it, and this could go into whole next level anti fraud, you know copyright theft,
Hmm.
downloading illegal copies. So if it's not, boom, you have this NFT code, you can't use it. So this basically makes it a digital physical copy where this game will not work without this code, meaning that I buy this game for $50. I can then go back to, I can go back to GameStop. I can sell them back my NFT, probably at a loss, obviously, because I'm selling them a used NFT, because we all know how that works. But then they'll potentially pay you back out with the GameStop crypto, which will be basically digital in-store credit.
I mean, so far from my basic understanding of the gaming community, at least, that seems pretty powerful. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been naysaying about, it's a brick and mortar store. It's not going to take over. It's not going to replace the Xbox store, the PlayStation Network Live, whatever that is. Because they're brick and mortar, they don't have any entrance into e-commerce or the digital space. But this seems like something that the big guys can also get on board with because they can make some money as well, and it basically digitalizes what brick and mortar GameStop stores have done for years, and now brings it to the digital front and has everything already set up for them. It sounds like to for all the big players to get on board to make this a lot more powerful than Steam or Epic Game Store or any of those, really to rival potentially the Microsoft store, the Xbox store, the PlayStation store. Maybe not rival it, but be uh, pre-downloaded already onto every single machine or console that gets sent out. May potentially have GameStop digital store on them. You think?
Well, so I don't necessarily know that because, I mean, if you think about it, obviously Microsoft is going to want to get their bigger cut than running through, GameStop, stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. But I think that, like, one of the big things is that the pandemic, the last year plus, has shown a lot of brick and mortar stores that were a little hesitant to get into this digital space, that they really needed to either get there and very fast or become a relic of days past, because obviously brick and mortar was a little bit tougher to handle during the last year, right? So not only that, but once GameStop kind of hit that popularity with the Wall Street bets, the squeeze, stuff like that, people kind of remembered that GameStop existed, right? And there was a lot of people that were arguing both sides of it. Yes, GameStop can still do what it needs to do. I really like the stock, and people saying that it was dead and that they needed, to move forward into the new era. And I think that they probably sat down and they were like, you know what? This is true, and we need to stay on top of this momentum that we have. So, with everybody going just absolutely bonkers over cryptocurrency, whether it's, Dogecoin, Shiba Coin, Bitcoin, ETH, whatever have you, they realized that they needed to get in on this, and they kind of jumped ahead of a lot of other companies that may have adopted digital earlier, because you don't really have Steam printing NFTs. You don't have Epic Game Store printing NFTs. So they kind of skipped a whole step and went right into the blockchain, right into crypto, because that is what's going to be hot. And I think once games start integrating this in, that's when this type of thing is going to just absolutely explode.
I agree. So I know we've kind of got distracted, but what were you saying about the GameStop token? What what seems to be the power behind that from a crypto token standpoint or coin standpoint? What's the main purposes of making their own rather than just using something that's already, you know, available? And like PayPal, for example, you know, you can already use Bitcoin and Ethereum or Litecoin. What makes it so different and so much more better, or so much better to, you know, come up with their own coin?
Because it will be like store credit. Whenever you had a brick and mortar store, store credit stayed inside of the store. So if I sell an NFT back to GameStop, they give me $25 in GameStop tokens. I would also imagine that it'll most likely be a stable coin. Stable coins are typically pegged to the US dollar, and are backed by fiat. So a dollar is always a dollar in GameStop tokens, similar to like USDT, Tether, or USDC, the USD coin for Coinbase. These are always going to be a dollar. So this allows GameStop to keep all of that money circulating in their own ecosystem. Whereas, let's say, you know, you want to return a game or you want to trade in a used game that you've already played, and I give you $20 in, you know, Tether or Dogecoin or something like that. You can then take that money. I'm at now a $25, you know, net profit off of that, instead of a $75 net profit where I already got your $50. I give you $25, and then you have to put that $25 back in, and then I sell your game for $25. So it keeps the money in the ecosystem, and then they can control that. It'll be centralized. I almost guarantee it won't be able to be mined. And if it is, it will be most likely mined through things like, similar to Brave Attention Token, which you get Brave Attention Token by just watching ads on their browser. So it'll probably be something along those lines. When they put that out, it'll be like, hey, we'll show you ads and you can get GameStop tokens, which is essentially store credit, for us showing you advertisements.
Maybe power up rewards?
Very, very, very likely, yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, it's already gone. We could talk all day about this. We've already gone
Yeah.
for a decent amount. Um, one last comment or one last question I had for you. You know, if you've been following about it, if you looked up the blockchain and all that, you saw the only person that owns, for so far you can find, the only person that owns a single GME coin, also owns 0.42069 Ethereum.
Yes,
Have you
yeah,
found that?
I did see that. Yeah, because when you sent it over to me, I, you know, dug through the main page, which, you know, the little dot at the top corner that lets you play the flash game was pretty fun. I played that for a little bit this morning, but I did see the Ethereum address down at the bottom, so I went through, I scanned it, I, you know, chunked through a few things, and found the wallet and the smart contracts and stuff like that, which was kind of fun to trace down. But yeah, I did see the meme worthy. Do you think it's Elon Musk? I feel like it could be Elon Musk that
I think we may
would
be
own that
seeing
much.
a new passing of the guard for meme lords for the next the next decade coming up with this one.
Yeah. You know,
Um,
the thing is, though, is, and that's a whole, this is a whole other topic, but the power of memes when it comes to the new retail investor. Um, I mean, I guess it works because we're talking about GME, right? The one that kind of sparked the memification, I guess, of, you know, the retail investor, because you have GME, you had AMC, you have Dogecoin. Seems like whoever has the best memes kind of wins, and so GameStop kind of going with the, you know, the wallet holder having the 426.9 Ethereum, and you know, stuff like that is kind of, they're playing to the new base. I think that is really going to get eating behind this.
I completely agree. Also, speaking of that game, for anybody who's watching this, it's not familiar. I did a video on GME yesterday. You can go check it out on our channel. There is a pinned comment with the link to the website and instructions on how to get there. We're going to be giving away a free mug. So all you got to do is go to that website, play that game a little bit, let me know your high score. Whoever has the highest score by Friday's close of 4:30 Eastern, the close of Friday's trading day, will win one free mug. I know there's a lot of VV Nation people out there that love trying to win these mugs. This is your opportunity. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do is make sure you've liked the video and you subscribe to the channel, and let me know in that pinned comment what your high score is, and the highest score by Friday wins a free mug. So just keep that in mind as well.
Man, I could really go for a free mug.
Yeah, I know, right? So I do have the VectorVest graph pulled up here now. And I know we've spent a lot of time talking about the coin, the NFT, which I love. I just wanted to quickly recap, give an update from yesterday. I talked about a technical perspective on GME. I just was hoping to maybe, give a quick update on next levels to keep an eye on, and then we can start wrapping things up for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested to hear.
So I have an end of day chart right now on GME. I have that trend line I talked about yesterday. I have, the DPO, stochastics, MACD, pretty much everything I showed yesterday. Same setup. I did that video and it was trading at 190, 193, I believe. Literally halfway through editing yesterday, all of a sudden it just started running up higher and higher and got to that 217 level at one point even. Before the close, with no news out there whatsoever, up until the close. Then it started dropping at the close, and then the NFT news came out last night, and now you're seeing it run up even more here today. So one level, just for everybody to keep an eye on, one level that could possibly be some resistance that you just want to pay closer attention to your stock or your GME holding right now, is right around this high here. We had some consolidation from that last run up, going up until, where was that? The 483 high. So you had the middle ground right there, and then really where you closed at that second run up right around the beginning of March. So you have some resistance right around 275 ish, with such a high dollar stock at this point, give or take a few bucks. It's not going to be an exact number because you're dealing with bigger numbers. You can have fluctuation. You got to always keep that in mind when looking at, support resistance. But yeah, so realistically, there was a level of resistance or support right around that 200 to 220 range, maybe a little bit right around in between there. We've clearly got above that here today. Now, the next level of resistance that we want to keep an eye on is that 275-ish or so on GME, but so far, the MACD is picking up nicely, which is what you want to see. That shows the strength, or the trend is strengthening. DPO is picking up nicely, another confirmation that the trend is strengthening. Stochastics still staying above that overbought territory, but that's fine. As I mentioned yesterday, it can stay in that territory, and nothing to really panic about until you start seeing it break down. And even that, is still an early indication of anything, if anything, is going to occur. So yeah, GME looks phenomenal. We've seen a great run so far here today. I think with this new news and all the publicity going on about it, this gets me even more excited for the earnings announcement coming up on the 8th and the stockholder meeting coming up on the 9th. So, everything is looking good. I like getting into the NFT. Thank you for spending some time with me, educating all of us on the NFTs and how they work. Hopefully, we can expect to see some more videos from you on NFTs and more in-depth analysis, how to take advantage of them, or how to get some money, or how to make a profit out of those as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's definitely something that I would like to cover, and happy to come on and educate you guys on anything crypto wise that you have any questions on. I do think the other thing too is, and I just thought about this, NFTs are very big with collectors. They're basically digital art, right? And a lot of gamers are big collectors of things, and I think that this could be real big. A lot of people who play games, they're big into like Funko Pops, stuff like that, collecting, because they like to have the one of something. And so if GameStop goes into the business of making NFTs for games and gaming content, stuff like that, you'll see something real big. And I think that they're going to try to establish themselves as the front runner in this space, and that is going to be really, really big for them.
So one last question. Your prediction by the end of the year, what do you think is going to make more money? XRP? Because I know that's your favorite, one of your favorite cryptos, or GameStop? Percentage wise, which one do you think is going to have a bigger return by the end of the year?
By end of the year, XRP, because they are looking to on ramp all of the money.
All right,
That's
I'm
what they
going.
say.
I'm
All
going
of
with
the money.
GME. We got a
Okay.
gentleman's bet going on now.
All right. All right. Fantastic.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in today. Once again, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, take care. Adios. Toodles.
Take care.